Hi, my name is Eppu and I'm from Koru and today I'm going to give a brief introduction to the Koru Xml Inspector Tool. And the Xml Inspector is a Visual Studio Code extension that Koru provides. Primarily it's a tool for developers and that aids in understanding what you see on the simulator screen and how that is connected to the view and CSS files you've written. And next I'm gonna go over the two main ways the XML Inspector can be used. So to begin, the first way you can use the XML Inspector tool, you'll have to enable the tool by pressing Command I on macOS and Alt I on other platforms. So I'll do it here now, and you can see down here on the terminal that we have enabled XML Inspector. And now I can go into the view file here, which is corresponding to what you see on the screen, and I can select a element I would like to inspect. For example, let's pick this date text element here, which is a text area widget, and I'll press here Command I and open the Koru tab on the VS Code sidebar, and you'll see that it found the line I was targeting here, and it highlighted it briefly in a green color. And now we can see on the left in the sidebar we have this view of the date text use element, and we can expand it to see all the attributes that have been set for this element. And we also can see the whole history of these attributes, so you can see every value that's ever been set during the runtime of the application. And what's interesting is that we can also go see that where this y attribute was set. So you're wondering, why is this y attribute 50% minus 106? We can see that it's defined in this file, and we can open it up here, and there we see y is set right here, which is quite useful sometimes. And then we can also, if you want to see all the elements, we can just select the top element here in the view, and it will highlight everything on the simulator, as you can see, and it will also give you the view of every element in the view currently, so you can see that there's many views, many elements, and they're even nested more, so you can go see this tree-like view of the XML file. And the second way you can use the inspector is you have to enable it separately. So you press Command Shift I or Alt Shift I on other platforms. You can see here down below in the terminal that the XML Inspector mouse select was enabled. So what this allows us to do is we can select elements from the simulator by right-clicking on top of some element, and it will go and find the topmost element that can receive the mouse events, and it will highlight that for us in the VS Code editor. So now we can see that the hello world text area element was highlighted, and we can see that the hello world text was actually localized during the load or preload of the application. So you can see that it was initially set as underscore hello world, and then it was localized to English. So basically just remove the prefix. And this also enables us to view this view, for example. We can go here and right click, and it will open the right view file in the editor, as you can see, and the comment says that this list is filled at runtime, so there's no actual element set in the XML file. But you can see that under this exercise list element here, you can see that there's many elements that are appended during the preload of the application. And we can even see here that how the IDs, the unique IDs, are set in the JavaScript file. And we can go into the file and see that yes, actually set attribute was called for ID right here during preload. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it. To me, it's very useful when something is not what you're expecting it to be. So then you can see that, for example, here there's two things that are setting this height attribute. Coincidentally, it's the same value they're setting it to, but nevertheless, you can see that first this height was set to 100% in the widgets.devs files, which we can see here. It's the base view that is then referenced in scroll view, I think. Yeah, href to base view, and then it came to this element here, but they also set the height to 100% here. So you can see that that one overrides the inherited one, which is very useful for developers. Thank you. That was the short introduction to how to use the XML Inspector tool.